Hey, to start things off, we're going to talk about hierarchy of matter and separation methods. So this is something pretty simple that we hope you guys can follow along with, and I think we should just get right to it. What do you say?
Sounds good.
All right. So we're going to look here at this chart that we have, and all of matter is at the very, very top. Everything that you see around you, table, air, each other, is made of food, is made of matter. And we can divide those into actually two different categories. And so we're just going to go through this a little quickly, and then we're going to talk about everything in a little bit more detail. So the first thing you can divide matter into is pure substances and mixtures. So let's talk about pure substances first. Okay,
so pure substances, we start with elements. We have a periodic table of the elements, which you're going to get very familiar with using. So we have elements first. Elements you might recognize always start with an uppercase letter. So you might have C for carbon, or one that has two letters would be like iron, Fe. So those are just elements. When elements combine, make bonds, they make compounds. So they're chemically combined. Okay? So we have this piece of aluminum foil. This would be an example of aluminum, and the symbol for aluminum is Al. But you can also have aluminum compounds. So when aluminum bonds with oxygen, it makes aluminum oxide, which would be Al2O3. So you can recognize the difference between an element and a compound because an element is one symbol, a compound has two or three or multiple.
Right, so and I guess one of the big things was if it's an element, it's only got one uppercase letter, and if it's a compound, it's got two or more uppercase letters.
Right.
Pretty easy thing to remember. It doesn't require you to know a whole lot about periodic table just yet, which is a good thing. The next portion that we're going to look at is the mixtures right here. There are two types of mixtures that you have to know, and one of them is homogeneous mixture, and the other is heterogeneous mixture. Now, homo means same, hetero means different. Okay, so the thing with homogeneous mixtures is they are the same throughout. Okay, so I'm just going to write same right here, and I'm going to write different, or just diff, because I like to shorten things. So something that is the same throughout means you can't tell that there's two different things mixed together.
It all looks the same.
It all looks the same. Heterogeneous, you can definitely tell that there's two different pure substances mixed together.
Right, so that's a good point. So we're taking compounds or elements and physically mixing them together. They're not forming new bonds, but they're physically mixed. So here we have some trail mix. This, you can see, is made up of lots of parts, and you can see the parts. So this is different. If I take two different samples, okay, in this one I have more raisins, in this one I have more peanuts. So the samples look different. So this would be a heterogeneous mixture.
Okay, so like if you're taking a sample of something and you get two different kind of looking samples, then you get a heterogeneous mixture. So right here we have some vitamin water, which is water and a whole bunch of other stuff mixed together. I can't tell where all the different things in. So let's see if I take one sample right here. Try it again. Take one sample. Well, you get the idea. It's all the same throughout because you can sort of see it. I sort of failed at that. You told me this would work.
I wanted to see if you would do it.
Well, I actually did it. So, okay, heterogeneous mixture, different. Homogeneous mixture, same. Another word for homogeneous mixture is a solution.
Yep, which means something dissolved in water. So like salt water would be a solution, sugar water, vitamin water, things like that.
Right. The last thing we really have to understand here is, let me kind of clear this so you guys can see, is the separation methods. Now, there are two types of separation methods, two categories rather, physical and chemical. So, physical separation and chemical separation. All this means is that mixtures right here can be separated physically. Like I can pick apart different portions of it, like the trail mix.
We can, and if we had smaller components, we could filter it, skim it, things like that. Physically separate because they're physically combined.
Right, and then the evil vitamin water that got my hand all sticky and nasty, we can separate the water from the other stuff by boiling the water off, so evaporating the water. So mixtures can be separated by physical means. Pure substances, though, can only be separated by chemical means. And really only compounds can be separated by chemical means.
Back into their individual
Back
elements.
into the individual
So they
elements.
form bonds, they're chemically combined, they have to be chemically separated.
So something like sodium chloride, table salt, can be chemically separated into sodium and chlorine. And that takes a chemical reaction. So I think that pretty much covers it all.
Yep, easy enough.